Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Weber State Esports. We are so glad to have you joining, well, just me today. This afternoon, it'll be just me highlighting the exciting Rocket League games we have tonight, hopefully, as it looks like, actually, we've got a little bit of a bug there on the screen. We'll see it fixed there. Wonderful. All right. Well, welcome, everybody. We're up against the University of Southern California's Rocket League varsity team, and I am pumped to see our games. If you've been with us for a while, Rocket League has been super, super fun recently. I feel like Weebridge really found somewhat of an aggressive style they like. I should mention, though, that as much as I am excited to watch these games, there is still a chance that the enemy team does end up forfeiting. We haven't heard fully from them yet, just waiting on some transparency in general. The enemy team still needs to check in, confirm that they're here, and before that, obviously, we're just kind of stuck in the dark. So I hope you'll bear with us for a bit, and me, I suppose, bear with me here. I'm excited for some games, especially because our Rocket League team is doing very well this season. If you don't know, we are 3-0 in the West Central A division for Rocket League, Division 3. So very exciting to see that. And hey, either way, if we play the game, I'd like to believe it's a win. The University of Southern California is 2-1, so it will be a good match if it happens. But if it doesn't, we at least get to go 4-0 in a certain way. It's maybe not ideal, of course. I recognize that. Either way, I'm excited to watch some games. Of course, our roster, for those of you just joining us for the first time, is Rivers, CRF, and absolutely no one. And they are a phenomenal three-man. I mean, their synergy is great when it needs to be. They often find great plays together, setup plays. They cover each other's weaknesses at times. And boy, the individual plays don't fall by the wayside either, let me tell you. Sometimes I find that while their teamwork is excellent, the ability for one of the three of them to find an angle, a clutch moment, and just hit it in the net is unmatched almost. Again, unmatched pretty much in score as well, obviously. Right now, 3-0, and they did end up walking with the championship last time they were in the NECC. They won last semester, so if you weren't here for that, something more to keep in note and to be excited about seeing. Looks like for now, we still haven't heard anything from the enemy team. Currently, still no check-ins, no news, so we can at least talk about the seasons as a whole. We hope that you've been enjoying watching Weber State Esports all over the place recently. Not in a bad way, but of course, we've been playing in the NECC for both our League of Legends junior varsity teams and our Rocket League varsity team. And we've had the chance to highlight both, obviously, our junior varsity Rocket League team and the varsity team for League of Legends that has been able to go all the way to an official Riot Seal tournament. Very exciting. Obviously not the biggest thing in the world, but it's pretty cool, right? And we're doing very well over there as well. Just took, I believe, our first loss of the entire split last week. So unfortunately, hard to say that they did well and then almost retroactively cast a curse them. But still, it's been a great time to be a fan of Weber State Esports. I know I've been having a blast being able to sit down every time, cast a lot of the games, run some broadcasts. It's just been great. And today's best of 7, if it does go through, will be no different. Some potential exciting Rocket League gameplay between two of the higher teams in the division, if it goes through. For now, we are still waiting on the enemy team. I believe we'll be waiting for about another 5 to 10 minutes, and if we hear nothing back from them, they will be an automatic forfeit. However, I believe I'm seeing some of the enemy team checking in now. So let me confirm a few things, and if we're good, we should be jumping into a game. Hopefully, really soon. Thank you for waiting. And it looks like we are. Oh, thank goodness. I was worried we wouldn't have one, but here we are, folks. Jumping into game in just a moment here. Oh, man, I cannot wait. I am so very glad. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the players are loading in. The pitch is looking absolutely colorful. The sunset pitch. I don't know if this is the one we usually use. I'll be honest, I've never really paid super attention to the actual field itself. I'm usually much more of a fan of the gameplay, sue me. Especially when Weber has a phenomenal team like they do. Looks like the players just doing the final checks here. They're loading in. Thought we'd be jumping a little faster here, so sorry for my ramp up of excitement, only to slowly peter down here. For now, we are just waiting for the players. Some potentially cool outcomes of this game, right? I mean, obviously, if we end up losing this, then Weber State University will be tied with the University of Southern California in the overall standings. And I think they'd be the 2 highest still, though, which is quite exciting in its own right. Let's see if we can figure that while we are waiting here. Hopefully teams will be loading in here in just a bit. For now, just a continued small delay here, as not quite sure what's going on in the back end. Again, clearly something is going on because the match has been put together. The enemy team is here, but none of the players have loaded actually into the map yet. So we've just got that to wait out. In the meantime, it looks like Weber is actually one of the highest. Yeah, Weber is the only undefeated team currently. So the win ratio, obviously, 100%, which is quite impressive. And if they continue to take this game, then it would be a huge continuation of that win streak. But if they do lose, they will be tied with quite a few other teams that are 2-1, will be 3-1, I imagine, if they win their matches, right? So there's currently 3 teams at 2-1. There's NAU Varsity, the University of Southern California, our opponents today, and Sacramento State Green. All teams, also currently 2-1, to Weber's 3-0. But folks, I've got good news, and that good news is you don't have to listen to me stall for time any longer. The game is beginning, and we'll see that USC is on the orange side, and Weber State on the blue side here. So some potential exciting plays here as Weber's the home team. Ooh, a nice block from USC there. We'll have to see if we can get the names up on the screen here shortly, folks. As in the meantime, absolutely no one going for a pretty strong push here, it looks like, as Paranoia. I had a hard time reading that name. My apologies, Paranoia. It's a cool theming on your name. Is going for a push to the side. CRF trying to find a goal attempt here. Actually, a completely wide open goal just left open for someone to maybe score, but VTR in a great position to block it. A good follow up from Rivers, but once again, VTR on the double block. A huge play from the member of USC to just make sure they can deny a goal as long as they can. Now, CRF trying to set up the ball in a better position, but will be denied, and it's up to absolutely no one instead to hit a huge push back across the map. I like to see it. We'll see if Weber can continue up this pressure. So far, it seems like they have really been on the front foot as an insane tap on Rivers from the ground there. Very, very cool. We'll see if Knight here can find a better push forward. And honestly, it's looking like it. Uses all their boost, but puts Weber in a really weird position where Rivers has to play on full defense. All right, let's see how the ball can play out. Boost taken away from a member of USC there. And right now, a nice tap away means that absolutely no one in CRF will have to be the ones on the defense for a bit. Rivers being the one to have to go all the way forward was awkward. But now CRF going forward, a little bit of boost, just trying to demo there, someone looked like. Didn't actually end up connecting with the player or the ball, so that play will go nowhere. As instead, absolutely no one will be the one demoed. And Paranoia going for a goal attempt, not really a super strong one, obviously, just a hopeful one that doesn't end up working out as Rivers does a good block. And absolutely no one going for a rebound off the backboard, won't find it. And the ball returns to the center of the court. A huge boost picked up from the member of USC that's on that as well. So it could be a really major play. A goal attempt barely blocked by CRF. What a play from Knight. That was a super close moment. As Rivers goes for the goal, would have found it without enemy members being there, but didn't quite have the angle on the shot. And now Knight's actually the one going in. A huge block comes out, but will it be enough? No, it will not. And VTR scores the first goal of the game. Whew, what a play. Happy to see that turn out that way. And obviously, first point, sure, doesn't go in Weber's way, so that's not the reason I'm happy. But really exciting game so far. I feel like some crazy long goal shots and fairly medium plays have come out, which sounds weird to say that's exciting, right? A lot of time you think fast plays. But I like these measured, controlled plays from both teams as a goal attempt from CRF nearly goes through there, and another one followed up by absolutely no one. We were keeping the aggression up, saying, hey, we may be down a goal, but we are not afraid to keep up the aggression. Rivers with full boost in the middle of the map here could be in a great position to find a setup for a teammate. CRF is that teammate currently. They'll fly up to catch it in the air, something that Weber does tend to like to do, right? They like these aerial long plays. So let's see if they can pull out some of that previous skill from other games. VTR floating up to catch the ball, and now it will float back down and kind of enter a bit of a neutral state where pretty much no one other than Rivers has full boost right now. So it's really up to them and Knight to find the plays. But Knight doesn't find the jump there. Ooh, I'm surprised CRF found that goal angle. Let's see how this played out. After no one picking the ball up, doing a rebound off the top ceiling there, and CRF just finding a fast enough push where Knight wasn't quite expecting it, I suppose. So a great play from Weber, tying up this game 1-1. Oh man, I feel like I really like the play style that these teams have against each other so far, right? There's a huge, again, these measured plays. Obviously, there's a little bit of chaos here and there, but most of the time, it's a lot of these long shots made by a single team member trying to rebound off a corner and give their teammates time to try and find the angles. As a double demo comes out in the corner, it looks like both of them probably just ran into each other at full speed as the ball won't go anywhere as a result of it. It'll kind of just reset tempo on both teams. So instead, it looks like CRF will be the member that ends up picking up, but a great push from Knight denies a huge play from Weber, and now it's up to Weber to reposition, try and find control of the ball. It looks like they will be able to here, but Paranoia in a great position to prevent that. Oh, this is a really good spot for them, it looks like. We'll demo Rivers here as well, so a huge continuous play from USC. Let's see if Paranoia can prevent the ball from going in the goal here. Yes, looks like they will, and so for a while, the game will sort of stagnate out. A potential rebound off the backboard here will be denied entirely from Knight there. I really like that play. Just ultimately not trying to push it away from the goal directly, but to the side is absolutely no one. Speaking of from the side, finds a goal angle there, coming right off the corner there. Not too shabby. We'll see Rivers going for the bounce up above, and absolutely no one coming flying in. A second goal that Weber scores right past a member of USC. You can see some great sportsmanship in the chat. I'd love to see that here, folks. That's what we like to see. Of course, obviously, we are Weber State Esports, but I am always down to root for both teams when sportsmanship is like this. That's just how fun it is, right? At the end of the day, we're playing some really cool games and watching some incredible plays. It looks like a little bit of a weird camera moment has happened there. Okay, looks like it has fixed there. Very bizarre. Oh, another goal almost goes in. Both members of both teams missing it, and absolutely no Rivers will be the one to knock it in. Let's see exactly what happened. The absolutely one going for a flip reset maybe. Couldn't find it. Multiple members of both teams don't quite hit it, and then Rivers finds the angle. Bit of a cool corner shot there on the front end of the car. And with a minute left on the clock, folks, I'm pretty sure game one will be going over to Weber State. Let's see if they can close it out, though, because I've seen some insanely fast points scored before. And, games can be turned around in that much time. Absolutely. Never count anyone out, especially a team that seems to be as clean as USC is. Yes, obviously, a couple goals have barely not gone in, but still, speaking of another one that almost goes in, feels like a close series all the same. All right, absolutely no one. Going up, grabbing some boost, trying to find a play. Rivers will end up falling the follow-up play, rather. Paranoia missing the ball on the way down, so it'll just kind of hover in the middle of the map here. A little bit of a weird position is CRF going for the push forward. Can they find the goal along the side shot? No, but we'll just push someone out of the way, and Rivers will be the one to find the goal. A great play. CRF using their own car to deny the enemy's car. They don't need a demo necessarily, right? Just bump them, and that's enough. A great play from Weber once more. 4-1. So despite the fact that I have said these teams are evenly matched, and I still believe that, it is clear that Weber off to a strong start in this game, showing their dominance and saying, hey, we want to keep this up. You have to be the ones to adapt and show that you can change USC. And I believe they can. All right, a good pop up from Rivers there, potentially trying to find a slow, meandering shot into the goal with the help of a teammate. Really, a lot of backboard bounces here from Weber. They know that as long as they can just stall for time, so they don't have to pass for a teammate, right? They're going to win in 3 seconds anyway, and they still want to find a goal all the same. They won't end up being able to find it unless they can knock the ball in this last second. But it looks like the ball will gently fall down here, and that will be game one to Weber State on the blue. But what a game it was. I mean, most of those points barely coming out until the last minute and a half or so, right? Maybe 2 minutes. Pretty hyped to see here. All right. Looks like we'll be loading into our second game here. Ooh, a little bit of a graphical glitch there. My apologies, everybody. Not quite sure what happened. Either way, we are all good now, so let's jump right into our second game. You know, it can be fun to cast on your own in its own way, but I will say I do miss all of our other casters. Shout out to Deathbaka, Catman, Less Than Good, everybody at home. Unfortunately, everybody busy at this time of year with spring break coming up, a lot of exams. Big time to be doing stuff. I'm just happy we were able to still highlight and cast the game here. CRF going for a huge push. Will he be able to do it? Is Paranoia hitting a nice block to the side? Paranoia feels like has been a great defensive player for USC so far this game. They're really tending to stick around the goal well and find these nice angled shots. VTR going for a good push as well, and Paranoia in a good position to actually play aggressive for once, but without enough boost, doesn't really have the ability to follow up on it. It's up to Knight and VTR to find something, but again, with only Knight being the one with most of their boost, it's just hard to find this angle. Ooh, a nice pop upwards, though, could do a lot there. Okay, absolutely no one does block it, thankfully, for Weber, but I would be a little nervous if you're Weber at this point. Now, what that did is that bought USC time to get their boost, right? To go absolutely crazy, hopefully. Let's see what can happen here is, ooh, a potential pop over to the side. Absolutely no one pushing it up here and trying to just deny it. A good tap from Paranoia, though, is quite strong as Rivers going up, trying to do what they can here with the ball on the solo play, and they do manage to find it. Honestly, I was not expecting that. You could probably tell from my tone. I expected it to be gently blocked, but instead Rivers finds the insane solo play from a mile away. Nice goal from Rivers there. A clean 1-0 lead from Weber. Only clean because, of course, currently USC has not found another point. But if this is anything like last game, USC ended up scoring the first point and then ended up losing that game all the same. So let's see if they can be the victors of this storyline. And it looks like so far it is going to be that way. I thought that ball was going to stagnate for a second, but it clearly was going in. And a 1-1 score immediately. I guess I cast your blessed to USC a little bit there. I talked about the potential to get back in, and sure enough, there it was, right? All right. 1-1. 4 minutes left in the match. Again, anytime you see an even scoreline, next point is the most important potentially of the game. Is a nice block from Knight. A good angle from Weber was coming in there. So a good denial, just enough of the momentum to push off to the side that denies a play. As, whoa, I thought that ball was going in for a second. That was scary for Weber State. They managed to not have to worry about that angle and instead have to worry about one of their own. Is VTR pushing forward. No boost again. Boost is so important in this game, especially because Weber likes to go for these very aggressive floaty plays. You can see absolutely no one going for right now, right? TUF trying to jump up, find the goal themselves, but VTR very nearly finding this goal. The corner of the goalpost doing so much work right now for Weber State. A fourth man in the game. Let's see if Weber can keep up this defensive momentum because they're going to need it right now. They are on full defenses. For once, they finally push the ball away, but VTR once again in the right position to push it back. USC doing a lot of work with what seems like constantly very little boost. They're using as much as they can to be in the right position. And it feels like positioning has been the big name of this game, right? A lot of the times, the ball has been pushed very far with no one directly following it. So what matters is being the first team to be in the right position, and Knight finds the angle as a result of it. A clean goal. You can see it here. The ball just kind of gently flies over. No one touches it for a while. VTR gets another backboard bounce, and Knight follows it through. A great play from USC. And so far, like I said at the beginning of this game, it is playing out like the inverse of the previous. Weber may score the first point, but if they can't close out any others, then USC will run with the game. It's not enough to score one and just play it out. You've got to keep your momentum up. A lot of games like this are heavily momentum-based, right? I mean, for those of you that are fans of our League of Legends games, the same thing is true. And momentum clearly in the favor of USC here, both in the game and in the current point, potentially. River's actually in a good position, though. And actually, no one in the goalpost to block it here. It looks like, oh, okay, Paranoia almost found it. Wasn't quite in the right position, right? You can see they kind of went forward trying to play for something and had to rush back a bit. That's insane. Oh, wait. Oh, they did bounce it. Rivers just managed to get the follow-through shot. Wow. I actually didn't notice that in the moment. A great play from Weber State there. Mostly from Rivers. But, of course, obviously, it's a team game, right? You got to shout at everybody in that play. Can absolutely no one get a flip reset here. Doesn't really have the angle to use it, though. So, unfortunately, the flip reset is nothing more than cosmetic. Let's see if Paranoia can find the angle here. Ooh, right above. Doesn't find the goal there from his old, but Knight going for a goal attempt as well. Multiple members of Weber. I think all three jumped to block it there, knowing that it was a really good shot and they had to be careful. Let's see if they can find the goal here themselves, Weber. For now, on the bit of a back foot, it feels like, yes, while they were in an aggressive position, they really weren't able to fully follow up on it. And instead, they're now back into a very defensive, fearful position as VTR going for another goal attempt. Paranoia now this time. River is being the saver of Weber once more in this point here, as maybe Weber will find the goal, and there it is, a great switch up on aggression and defense constantly. It feels like Weber managed to find the angle just barely. Whew. Nice sailing over one of the members of USC that had full boost, just not the ability to jump fast enough, right? Like, obviously, boost, you can get really far with it, but there is that small delay when you start using it that you have to accelerate through, right? It's not an instantaneous, insane burst of speed. You do get a small burst, but you still need to accelerate a bit. As CRF, using that acceleration to good effect, going for a goal attempt that VTR blocks very, very well. And now Paranoia with a good push away means that absolutely no one needs to kill momentum, right? It's all a momentum game. If the ball is just flying over to your side of the goal, you need to make sure you're in the right position when it lands. And if you'd rather stop it in the air, absolutely you would, right? So speaking of absolutely, currently absolutely no one in a better position to block the ball, as unfortunately Knight doesn't end up finding anything with a hit there, so the ball will sort of stagnate. As instead they're going to go for a demo. I don't hate the play, but when your other two members are off to the side, it's not going to accomplish a lot here. 1 minute remaining, and we are once again with the lead. And as I say that, Knight finds a great goal right in the corner there in the angle shot. This is a beautiful hit here. You can see kind of lets the ball gently float down and then finds the exact corner of the net. Great shot. Oh, man. All right. 3-3, and we could have our first overtime game of the series. Potentially. No promises, right? Anything's possible, though. So let's see how it plays out. All right, so far an immediate already demo from Weber State, but unfortunately it's going to be met immediately by a member with way more boost from USC. Oftentimes that is really the difference maker, right? If you can get a really early play, and if that really early play doesn't turn immediately into a goal, sometimes it doesn't end up mattering. As you can see, Paranoia getting another boost there. What a crazy set of plays from USC. Obviously, they haven't found anything out of it, but it's bought them time, and time is always good enough. If they can turn that time into a goal right here, ooh, close one. As CRF absolutely no one, both in the right position to block it, and thankfully one of them does. And now, all about positioning, because Weber had to spend 2 members on defense and successfully did, they're in a better position to push the ball for a moment. That being said, pass over to Paranoia. Thankfully, a good tap from Rivers there denies the ball from being a goal shot. All right, and with 8 seconds left, let's see if either team can find the winning goal, or if there will be, I was going to say an overtime, but with 4 seconds left, Weber finds their 4th goal. Whoo! I am shocked that they found this. Well, how did this end up going through? Absolutely no one goes for the hit. Oh, no, just managed to find it. Was just barely fast enough. You can see ran out of their boot at the last second there, but with 4 seconds left, that's a hero play from absolutely no one. That should be game 2 to Weber. Let's see if USC can find a miraculous last-second shot. Out of boost is Paranoia, and the ball is gently falling. Weber doesn't have to worry about picking it up. That will be game 2 to Weber State. Whew, what a game. All right. And while the players ready up, looks like we've got just a little bit of a graphical thing that we're going to try and fix here. But man, what a fun game there. All right. I believe we're ready to jump back over to the game. We should be loading in just a second here, and we should have potential graphical issues fixed. I know the game was flickering away here and there, but we should be set to jump back into game 3 in just a moment. Oh, man, what a series so far, huh? All right, and it looks like the players are ready. They're loading in, and game 3 is upon us. I like that from the shot. Oh, we don't have time to talk about that shot. We could say from that framing, it almost looks like there's a pause button over the ball to show the lull in the action. But here we are jumping right back into it. No rest for these players yet. Series isn't over, so you can't rest anymore. Let's see what Rivers can do. Paranoia going for a decent shot here. Doesn't have the good angle to hit a ball, but will at least deny the momentum from Weber. I say that a lot, of course, because I really think it is important, right? Oh my gosh, I couldn't fully see what angle they were going for. I thought that might have been going in. Paranoia getting a flip. I actually didn't maybe get the flip reset. Still had a good angle, though, and is in a better position to land the goal there. Really well done from Paranoia. I like the idea, even if they did get the flip reset, they kind of make the call that CUF's in a better position to block, let it happen, and just find the follow-up hit. Nicely done from Paranoia and USC as a whole. Off to a lead. However, if this series has been anything, it has shown that leads don't always convert into victories, as so far both teams that have received a lead in game 1, obviously they lost, USC lost, but in game 2, Weber almost lost until that last 4-second mark, right? So the lead doesn't always mean a lot if they can't keep it up, but I'm thinking that maybe USC could keep it up for the first time in this series. That being said, Rivers going for a great rebound off the wall, won't quite have the proper angle, so the members of USC do make it back in time to deny. And currently, it looks like the ball might start stalling out here in the middle, right? A lot of boost being used to make these aggressive plays, which means it's pretty much just CRF left with any boost. However, you might not need much boost if you find an angle like that. VTR, well done. I like that goal effect, too. That was really, really cool. The vapor wave effect, almost. They're going for just a beautiful hit there. And, ooh, a little bit of a weird angle, almost, from the top end of the goalpost that assisted there, right? I think we were expected to go a little lower, and because it went high and managed to tap itself in. Oh, as 5 players missed the ball. There might have only been 4, but that's crazy. I haven't seen something like that in a while. I think everyone went for a prediction on the enemy team making it there first, and everyone whiffed. So the ball stagnates out for a middle. Obviously, it doesn't last for long. Paranoia, with enough boost, will get over here and deny a potential goal. Instead, Knight is the one scoring one. Going for a score attempt, rather. I honestly thought that would go in. I think I'm a little crazy here. Solo casting might be getting to me, folks. Now, for now, though, of course, pretty exciting game, especially because USC, again, up 2-0 at the 3:30 mark. That's a pretty big deal. Yes, it's only about a third of the match's time as a whole, but still, pretty major lead to have. Weber can't just find 1 goal. They've got to find 2, otherwise the series will swing out of their momentum. Ooh, I thought they were going to have to find 3 there. The ball kind of stagnates in front of the Weber goal for a second. All right, let's see what we can do here. If you're a Weber fan, like I imagine you are if you're probably watching the stream, I don't know, you could be a USC fan. Sound off in chat. If you're a USC fan, let me know. We're happy to have you watching here as well. And if you are a USC fan, boy, you're happy with how this game's going. Some insanely close plays, nearly 3 to 4 goals scored this game, 2 which have gone in. Right now, it looks like absolutely no one had a little bit of the ball, and Rivers will be the one to push it forward. Oh, wow, that almost went in. But VTR will deny the rebound play. Absolutely no one looking to keep it up. We'll get a flip reset there. Won't end up using it. Might not have actually gotten. I don't think all 4 of the tires touched the ball there, but Paranoia trying to find what they can out of boost. But again, right now it feels like USC is doing a lot of chaos creation, right? That's all you have to do. In the words of, I guess, Shadow the Hedgehog, chaos control, right? It's weird to say, but kind of, it works in this game, right? If you are way ahead of this, oftentimes if you are just willing to create controlled chaos, to throw the ball around and deny plays more than making them, you know you're going to win. And with a timer down to 2 minutes and 15 seconds, it's been well over a minute since the last goal was scored, and Weber does not look like they're having a chance in this game here. I still think they can score a goal, of course, but I'm not sure if they will be able to score 2, right? And that's the problem, especially with a great demo from Knight there onto Rivers. It doesn't usually convert into a goal if you get a demo, but it can convert the enemy's momentum into 0. Oh, but a beautiful score from Rivers there, coming flying in from the middle there, I believe. Let's see it. CUF finds the push to the side. Paranoia pushing it as well, and absolutely no one. So every member of Weber doing a little bit of help here, but Rivers with just an insane angle. 2 members of USC not able to deny it. And, well, I said they could probably score 1, and there it is. Now is the chance to score the second. They've got enough time to find a second to even up the game, at least, from Weber. But again, they have to score 2 to even win the game. 1 just takes them to overtime. It doesn't necessarily win this game. So let's see how both of these teams want to play it out. As VTR gets a good demo there. Rivers runs out of boost just a little bit too early there. A little bit more would have let them have more control of the ball in the air, something that Weber loves, of course. But we'll run out of it there. Is another demo from Rivers. That might be the only defender left, and Weber might have found their second goal. But again, not quite enough momentum on the car itself there from Rivers. The ball not in the right angle and won't be able to be course corrected. So another goal attempt going down, and every attempt that misses is just more seconds eaten off the clock. So Rivers has got to find something soon, along with the help of absolutely no one in CRF. Or maybe it can be CRF that is the one that finds the goal. No, VTR with a great denial. Again, this chaos, honestly, you don't need a goal shot from anyone in USC rather. You just have to prevent Weber from getting one. Rivers doesn't want to let that happen. They want to try and find something, and you can see them continuously setting up for a play. Absolutely no one in a good defensive position, and they needed to be. That was really close. Oh boy, heart pounding there. I would like to see Weber at least take this to overtime. I'm a big fan of tense overtime matches. We've seen many in our history here at Weber State, and I'm always down for another. VTR, good push away. Rivers going for a denial, and CRF actually gets a demo here. First Weber demo I think we've seen in a while, unless I've missed 1 or 2. Always possible, bear with me. But still, 30 seconds remaining, and Weber down a point still. They need this another shot, this next goal to go in their favor. Can they find it? Absolutely no one. Rebounding off the backboard is another member Weber in position. Rivers is, but so is Paranoia on defense. Another time Paranoia has potentially saved the game for USC. Oh, a really close attempt from Weber. I think that might have been their last shot. You can see them running back, trying to get enough boost. They need to regroup, but with 7 seconds on the clock, folks, that should be... No, I stand corrected! This is the second time in the last 2 games Weber's gotten a goal in 4 seconds. Sorry, with 4 seconds remaining. What is happening? This time it won't win them the game. So there's that at least. I guess we will be going to overtime. Oh man, a little bit of a caster curse for USC there. I'm sorry. I did not mean to use my power for evil. I only mean to use it for fun. And you know what? I think an overtime game is fun. So let's see how this plays out here, folks. Next point wins the match. The time doesn't matter anymore. You can keep your eyes glued on the ball. Forget the time. Forget the points. It's a best of 1 for this game. I mean, okay, obviously that's a redundant statement. You understand what I mean. Paranoia going for the attempt. Ooh, potentially just finds it. Whoa! And it's fast and snappy. USC says, hey, we know we're in overtime. We don't care. Let's get this over with. Let's head to the next game. They are happy to take that goal. A nice shot from Paranoia. Oh, VTR actually being the one to tap it in. No, it was still Paranoia. I guess it was bounced off the Weber member. Still, a great game from USC. Whew. All right. Let's see how this plays out now, folks. The ball is for once now in USC's court. They maintain the momentum now. They've denied Weber's. And the first overtime game of the series. And it's the third. It's not even like the decider, right? I mean, I think that just goes to show you how evenly matched these teams really are. Because, man, that's exciting. Hopefully we have more. Again, maybe it's stressful for people with heart conditions. You know, be careful. Oh, actually, whoa. Okay, I'm going to be honest, I didn't see that coming. I haven't seen an immediate goal in a while, especially not from Weber. There was an opponent we played recently. I think it might have been SAC State Green. I think it might have been Sacramento, who did insanely immediate goals. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, haven't seen one from Weber in a while. All right, a strong start from Weber. 2 seconds on the clock and already 1 point. Let's see if they can keep up this game and maybe find their way into match point. If they're going to play this aggressively, then who knows? Obviously, it's incredibly unreasonable to draw conclusions from the first 2 seconds of gameplay. So I think USC has plenty of time to pull it back. That being said, a huge aggressive push from Weber will finally, well, it's kind of be denied. Actually, not fully, as, a huge corner bounce there. Unfortunately, Weber will not find the goal. So now it's up to them to find and to regroup, to get an aggressive push again. They use a lot of their resources to go forward, and now they've got to play back a bit. You can see here, I imagine, Knight using the rest of their boost just to get in a better position, and VTR in a phenomenal place to keep it up. All right, let's see. A good demo from Paranoia, but a good 50, kind of, from, I believe, Rivers there? No, Rivers was the one demo. Either way, it favors Weber in the end of the day. CRF getting full boost in the middle of the court, trying to keep up their pressures. Absolutely no one gets a demo, and we'll see if it can pay off anything for Weber as a counter demo comes in. No, another demo from Rivers. Weber getting a lot of demos right now. Still don't have control over the ball, which is what matters. So we'll see what they can pull off here. Absolutely no one going for a decent push here. Knight with a good denial. CRF, no boost, but a huge tap forward. Let's see if they can find it. A demo at the same time and a goal. We couldn't see it through the demo graphic there. I'd love to see how this played out. So we'll see. CRF came from the side, going for the backboard push. Absolutely no one going for a play, and just manages to cause chaos at the exact place that absolutely no one needed. Yeah, really well done from Weber. And a 2-0 lead means that this game's looking quite strong for Weber. Although it wouldn't be Weber State if we didn't go to Game 7 somehow, huh? So even at potentially 2-0 up on a third point for them, I don't fully believe. I believe in a certain way, but not. It's a decent attempt there. CRF, oh my gosh, the ball just flying in a straight line back and forth in front of the goal there. Absolutely no one in a good position. I think they got the flip reset there, and they did. A nice play from absolutely no one. Stalling out in the air a little bit, getting the flip reset to make sure they have full control of the ball, and right the moment they see the angle, they find it and take it. Really well done. All right, 3-0 leads from Weber. Clearly, I need to eat my own words about momentum. I started saying that USC had the momentum, but actually it's Weber is really saying, hey, we want to pull back. USC has plenty in the tank still, though, right? Obviously, this is only the 4th game in the series. They've got plenty of time to pull back this game and this match. So let's see what they can pull off, folks. Don't count anyone out yet. Weber's going for a sideline setup for a potential member like CRF to come in and hit it through. Won't actually end up finding anything. And Paranoia on the defense gives me a lot of hope for USC, right? Paranoia has been very phenomenal on the defensive plays this game. So let's see if they can maintain their defensive skills from previous games and find a way to get USC back in the game. This is the first time in a while that Weber on the back foot here. A goal attempt doesn't quite go in, but that one looks like it might. CRF not able to really deny it. I think there could have been something to do, but it was a really hard angle to find it from, right? When CRF is basically driving at the ball, you have to be careful not to hit it in for free. So kind of has to awkwardly sit, and I'm realizing now that Weber's could have blocked it, so a little bit of miscommunication from Weber. It happens. We'll see if Weber can pull it back a little bit. Obviously, still 3-1 in their favor, but when a play like that happens, you can imagine that potentially USC getting a lot of the hope they needed back as almost another goal goes in from Rivers. A really great play. Can Knight and Paranoia find a counterplay like that one? Let's see. Knight picking up the boost in the center here means that they get a lot of value out of that. VTR going for a play, won't find it. And Paranoia is in a good position to tap forward. Wins the 50 against CRF for the most part, and Knight just tapping it around. Let's see what can happen. VTR going for a good push here. All right, and the ball kind of stalling out in the corner of USC's goalpost here. I think not much can happen from that, but Paranoia finds a window where Weber almost is defenseless. Won't end up getting anything from it, but still, it's a good push from USC, and Weber almost finds the counterplay twice as absolutely was flying into the enemy's goal. That's funny to see. Obviously, multiple members of Weber were going for the hit there. No one finds it. And the ball has stalled out for the first time in a while in this game, right? I mean, no one actually scoring a point. A demo coming out from absolutely no one means that CRF has the window to push forward. Absolutely no one with full boost as well could find something. The ball pushes away in a little bit of an awkward angle. I think Rivers just wasn't quite ready to follow up with that play yet. A good pushback from, I think that was absolutely no one. We'll see. No, I'm watching absolutely no one now. I guess it was Rivers, and we'll see. CRF going for a flip reset low to the ground. I like to see that. It gives you a lot more control than you'd expect, right? All right. Knight pushing forward. And we'll see if Rivers is the one to deny it. No, CRF was going for it. Didn't end up hitting it. I think decided against it with the amount of boost they have. So instead, Rivers will be passed over to. Absolutely no one gets a huge demo, which means Rivers can be the one to continue the aggression. And now it's VTR, who I don't know if they got a flip reset. Looks like they didn't. And the ball will once again stall out in the corner of the map. It's a different corner from last time, but still a corner stall all the same. Weber 3-1 with 1 minute left. The time is ticking away for USC to find another goal in this game. It would be huge for them to be able to pull it back. And considering Rivers almost found another one there for Weber themselves, it'd be a huge deal. Ooh, a lot of players over here by the Weber goal. All of them kind of rushing the ball towards the goal. No one will find it, which is good if you're a Weber fan, and unfortunate if you're a USC fan. Time keeps ticking down. 30 seconds left. We're getting really close to this game ending, but Paranoia in a great position. Actually, a bait a little bit for Rivers to try, not Rivers, Rivers to defend. Knight will have to be the one to follow it up. I liked the bait there from Paranoia and VTR. I think it was a clever play. It didn't end up working out, but still a nice try. Oh, Knight. Okay, there it is. All right, that's the second point for USC. If they want to take us to overtime, they've got to find a point in 15 seconds. We have seen Weber find points with 4 seconds left in 2 games. If Weber can do it, reminder that USC is very evenly matched with them in the standings and in somewhat of the skill in this series, right? So I think they could find it as well. Let's see if they can, in fact. For now, though, with 10 seconds left, they got to do so quickly as Knight already in a good push there. Absolutely no one with a good denial. Weber just needs to do full denial. Push the ball around like maniacs. Don't let it go anywhere. Just like that from Rivers. And the ball just floating downwards. Rivers will push it down to guarantee it. And that, folks, will be game 4, to Weber State. They are now 3 points to USC's 1. Whew, all right. Series is not over yet. Oh, you can see a little bit of fun in chat there. Rivers believing that it might have been a best of 5. Nope, it is in fact a best of 7, Rivers. Come on, you can watch the stream. Obviously, I'm just poking fun of them. It's clear that these teams have great sportsmanship back and forth, right? Having a lot of fun with each other. And I like to see that. Obviously, with a broadcast, so of course we like to see that. I like to just see players giving it their all, having some good banter, some good sportsmanship. It's just great. So shout out to USC, the University of Southern California. I think they are the Trojans, technically. Again, huge shout out to them. They've been very cool. We're happy to have been your opponents this week. Again, of course, this series is not over yet. I don't mean that in the final sense. We've still got much to go, and if you're a Weber fan, you know that sometimes they really randomly go to Game 7s when it feels like they shouldn't. So let's see how this series actually finishes here, folks. Paranoia going for a play. Rivers with the pushback, and absolutely no one here to catch it. Can they keep up this momentum? A lot of cars in the corner there going for pushes. Let's see. VTR in a weird angle here, but it should be fine. Knight will pick up the boost in the corner and push it away as CRF actually going for the play instead. Knight will push back, and we'll see how it happens. Ooh, Rivers with a demo means that VTR being down for a couple seconds could be annoying. It also denies all of their boosts. You can see Knight and Paranoia with no boost either. So it's really awkward to make any aerial plays, which is, again, where Weber likes it in general, let alone when they have boost. You can see CRF going for a floaty play as Knight will get the denial. CRF trying to push it forward into the hands of Rivers, who can follow it up, but actually it was absolutely no one here with the follow-up. And CRF, what an insane play from Weber. Of course, it didn't work out, but every single member of theirs contributing just a little bit. Absolutely no one going for the ball. Will have full boost, trying to just wrap around to get a better angle, but Knight will help push it up and more towards the Weber's goal than Weber would like. I mean, Knight, again, on this offense, it feels like every time we snap over to them, they're usually in a very good position to hit the ball forward. And Paranoia has been on a great defense this game, right? It feels like every member of USC has had a very great job that they excel at well. Rivers trying to catch the ball here on the fall down, but won't find it. Instead, it'll be passed around until Paranoia picks it up. Absolutely no one instead being the one to have it as Rivers might find the goal. A little undefended here. VTR will be in the right position. No boost, but it shouldn't matter as, oh my goodness, Knight at the right place, the right time. Great defense from them. With a good amount of boost, can they find it as instead Weber finds a goal? Absolutely no one. Well played. Let's see how this played out. Knight pushes it to the side, gets some boost. I think USC thought they had maybe a little more time. Absolutely no one comes flying in from the side. And again, Paranoia, unfortunately, hard to block when you have absolutely no boost. It's tricky. Let's see how the rest of this game plays out. That was a two-minute gameplay, right, for 1 goal. So Weber clearly showing that despite the fact that these teams are fairly even, we were pulling out just ahead, which also is reflected somewhat in the scorelines currently. This would be a huge game for both teams to win. We were pulling further ahead in the division, saying they truly are worthy of being undefeated. And USC, if they take it, will be tied for first, right? So that's a huge deal, especially because they have the head-to-head over Weber, right? A huge series for both teams. Let's see if Weber can close it out with this game, or USC can turn it around. About half the time of a normal game left on the clock here. So don't count anybody out. Ooh, a good demo from Paranoia here. Actually, they're going on the offense. Knight being the one on the defense for now. Paranoia with a double demo here. Whoa, I mean, that denies Weber a lot of time. Any offensive play they had is just immediately neutered. So it's up to USC to get full punishment on that. And there it is. A nice play from Paranoia. 1-1. And suddenly it's anybody's game. Well, suddenly is a strong word. I think it was already anybody's game. But now it literally is with 1-1. Weber's just not quite there fast enough, it looks like. So Weber going a little too aggressive. Sometimes they have been known to be punished for leaving no one on the defensive net, but usually it's not too much of a problem. Weber, a very aggressive team that likes to go no holds barred, force you to answer their plays instead of having to answer your plays instead. Very, very cool. We'll see if that playstyle can get them another point here, or if USC is looking to pull us into a Game 6. Whew. All right, a little bit of slow ball in the air here so we can take a moment to breathe. Much needed. Remember to drink water at home, folks. Obviously, you may not be casting, but it's still important to stay hydrated, take care of your throat. Is a potential goal attempt that isn't hit here, which means that Paranoia, instead the one in a better position, will pick up some of the smaller boosts and the corner, actually, so a really good position. Zero in a better one, however, will deny it, and now it's up to Knight to hit the goal. They can actually find it here. Absolutely no one in a better position. VTR going for a floaty hit here as Knight with a really strange angle, obviously a good one, right? Just I'm impressed that they managed to go at that angle and still hit it backwards. So let's see if Weber can deny some of this aggression here. It doesn't seem like it. USC, for the first time in a while, on a hyper-offensive train, right? Just constantly pushing the ball forward, and forward. As I cast or curse them at least a little bit, I suppose. Ball right in front of their goal could be scary, but Rivers doesn't have the angle. We'll just have to push it toward the side, which means that ultimately USC in the better position to hit it. A demo coming out onto absolutely no one, who I believe was the member of Weber, going to hit the ball there. Makes it a little bit awkward. Can Weber find the defense here? Rivers actually going for an offensive play, taking it all the way up in the sky where Weber usually likes it, but Knight able to answer in this play. Let's see if Paranoia can find the angle. No, won't be able to, as absolutely no one with a good block. But still, again, the ball maintaining its presence on the Weber side of the pitch here, and that matters a lot. It just means that every second it spends over here is another second Weber has a better chance at being scored on as opposed to them scoring. So USC trying to do what they can. Southern California been quite strong this series, but not quite been able to finish out some important games. And this is a game that's more important than the rest because it's the last chance you get if you die. If you lose this point, it could be it. But again, 30 seconds left, and this game could be going into overtime. Oh, I mean, the only overtime we've seen this series has been in the favor of USC, but man, Weber almost scoring that goal. That was really close. Paranoia going for the push back in response. Rivers with full boost, should be able to deny it, pushing it all the way up to the ceiling, and will float with it over to the enemy's goal. VTR in a great position, Knight in a better one, but they're just going to kind of let it stall out in the side, right? They don't need much here. If they can let it hit the ground the moment the timer ends, they won't be in danger and will be able to go into overtime, but Weber trying to keep the ball up against all odds, do what they can, but there it is. And we're in the second overtime of the series. Let's see who can score this point. Once again, no need to look at the points or the time anymore. Just keep your eyes on that ball and the player whose hands it's in or wheels it's in. Currently, it looks like that is the member of USC, but Rivers being very, very tricky with it is now it's up to Knight to find the push. Absolutely no one going for just an awkward tap, trying to do what they can. Paranoia in a good position. Gets the ball over CRF and might just be able to get it in, and there it is. The second overtime of the series once again goes to USC. Okay, well, it's clear that USC has found their angle, right? Stall out a game, not fully, right? Not trying to, but if you can stall out a game, if you can make a game go long that's even, you can absolutely score that point. And folks, we're going to Game 6. I can feel it already. Can't you taste it in the air? The Game 7, the Weber State Classic, El Clasico. It happens so often. It's so funny. Again, reminder that if we do go to Game 7, there was a time that Weber was up 3-1. And they just had to make it exciting if we do go that way, right? I mean, come on. Who knows, right? Whew. Either way. Nice to have a breather between games. Have a short moment where you can see actually Paranoia getting both of the goals there. Great game from Paranoia. 4 shots as well. Doing a lot of work in that game. All right. Loading in here. We'll be able to jump right into the spectator, of course, and watch our 6th game out of a potential 7 in the series. All right, get your low energy out. Breathe it out, because here we go. Right into the 6th game, and CRF going for the immediate push off. Rivers getting a good demo here, but VTR going to the side with the boost means they've got a lot more agency so far. Knight will now have the angle to do so as well, and a little bit of an awkward tumble in the middle of the map there means that the ball will stagnate right in the middle, and Paranoia in a potential good position to go for a goal, but won't have the right angle to hit it with full force, so the ball won't exactly go the way they want it to. But VTR can find the angle, and that's 1 point already to USC, looking to take this to Game 7. I think they can feel it too. They can taste it in the air. All right, folks, it's time for the second point. 4 minutes, 41 seconds still on the clock. A lot of time left, obviously. Oftentimes, fast points, they very rarely determine a game. It's a good thing to have, right? Obviously, it means that Weber now has to get 2 to win, let alone 1 to bring us to overtime if the clock stalls out. But oftentimes, they're not enough to win, usually. So we'll see if it will be a different thing this series, right? It feels like as the series has gone on, it's kind of been like a bell graph in terms of points scored, right? You have first game where a decent amount was scored, but not too many. Ooh, a potential almost another one scored there. And then obviously game 3, a ton of goals scored. Game 4, a couple less. Who knows? Maybe game 6 here will be a bit slower. Let's see. Paranoia bouncing upwards. Has a lot of boost. Could go for a play, but kind of drops the ball a little bit there. And it means that Rivers gets a really awkward goal. I don't think anyone was ready for any of that. You can see a little bit of a weird section here. As Paranoia, I think, just detaches from the wall on accident. Rivers finds the bounce here, and no one was expecting that ball to go in. Maybe Rivers was, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he was also surprised. So, all right, 1-1. As I said, oftentimes it's not enough to just get that 1 point early and let that coast you to victory. 3 minutes and 53 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time for anyone to score another point. As a potential another point coming in from USC almost immediately here. A good demo from absolutely no one will deny it. Let's see what Weber can find. As Knight going for a good push forward here. Let's see. Okay, actually, no, not in defense, rather. Wrong side of the map here. My goodness. My single casting is getting to me. CRF going for a play. VTR with a good push back. Good amount of boost here. All right. Instead, absolutely no one. Kind of push it off to the side. There's a lot of stagnation here in the center of the court. Obviously, both players trying to hit things, but if the ball keeps kind of pinching to the side almost, it's not really going to go anywhere. That being said, it's going right toward USC's goal right now. VTR with a huge block. Just barely. Nicely played from them. As absolutely no one is now the one having to be on defense here because VTR could find a goal. Won't be able to find it just barely, but it was really close. All right. Whew. Last minute or so. About even, but even not in actual, even in points, not just in plays, right? The plays have been really, really close. Okay, CRF getting some boost, pushing forward, getting a nice demo, making it really awkward for USC. The member who was ready to do defense having to be swapped out for another one, which means that Weber could find an angle here. CRF getting a rebound off. Rivers trying to find something, wasn't able to. Does get the boost in the corner, so it has a lot of control right now. Absolutely no one. Also in a decent position. Will be trying to lob the ball out of the corner here. CRF just knocking it up along with Paranoia. Rivers still keeping it mostly on USC's side, but VTR will finally deny it. Feels like just control over the ball is really back and forth right now. It doesn't feel like one team has really been on the hyper offense for too long. That being said, absolutely no one getting a really good demo, which means that once again, a potential member who could play defense might have to be changed out for someone else who wasn't ready. Thankfully, it looked like VTR was the one ready to go. Ooh. This is an exciting game, trying to keep the energy up because it feels very tense, right? Obviously, a lot of very, very close plays, but no one quite able to find it. As Paranoia going for the flip reset either didn't get it or wasn't able to use it effectively. Either way, gotta move past it, of course, right? Every play, no matter how it goes, the most important thing you need to do is adapt, react, and get ready to go, right? You just gotta be ready and ready. It's a snappy game filled with snappy goals so far. I mean, the series itself has been very, very quick, fast, and we talked about, early in the series, I would say it was a lot more medium plays, right? Like these moderate, controlled plays, which I was very impressed with. It feels like the series has gone on. There's been a little bit more of these fast, snappy hits, right? These angle shoots that tend to end up working really well. We'll see Knight push the ball away. 1-1 still, right? And the timer is still ticking down. Next team to score a point, especially at this much time left, could determine this game. If it's Weber, oh, it looks like it will be actually. Sierra finds the angle. I wasn't quite prepared for that. I guess I should have seen it coming. It was a nice shot here. You see that Knight pushes away, and a member of USC isn't quite in the right position to block it. You can see attempting to get over here fast enough was, I believe that was Paradox? Yeah, Paranoia. Wasn't quite able to find it all the same. So now 2-1 Weber's favor. Still plenty of time for USC to score a goal, but it's getting tight. Knight grabbing the boost, going for the side. We'll get a demo here. Won't actually end up hitting the ball. A bit of a cool switch up there. You let VTR actually end up being the one to get into a better position and just deny a member of Weber all of their good positioning. Oh, but Paranoia missing the ball is a little bit awkward. Means that Once again, momentum killed, up to VTR or Knight to find it instead. No, actually, it looks like Paranoia will regroup in the backline, get a good tap forward. Again, slow the ball down. That's all you really need to do. Let another member of your team like Knight here get an insane sequence of plays. Nearly finds the follow-up as well. Now Paranoia going for a hit here. Absolutely no one almost hitting it directly back into Paranoia. It could have been a close goal there. Either way, just not enough of what USC needs. Timer ticking down, and if Weber finds another goal like they might have here soon, I mean, again, the ball is very close on their side, on the right side of the map for them. If they find another, this game and this series will be over. Let's see what happens here. Absolutely no one getting a demo. And Sirif getting demo. Double demo at the right time. Yeah, demos don't last super long, but still, it's a huge momentum killer. I mean, we've talked about momentum over and over. That's probably the biggest one we've seen. Can it matter enough? And yes, it does. Rivers finds the long, careful play, not trying to rush when a demo happens, just saying, hey, we've got so much time. They don't have boost. They don't have great positioning. Just sneak it in. And there it is, a phenomenal goal. That should be the series. I really don't see how USC gets 2 goals in 15 seconds. Now, am I willing to cast or curse it? I mean, absolutely. I'm always down for insane comebacks. It just looks like Weber, again, scoring another goal here, and that will seal it. 2 points in 15 seconds? Maybe. 3 points in 8 seconds? I'm sorry, USC. It's just not going to happen. So great gameplay from both teams. I want to congratulate both. Again, obviously, USC, a phenomenal team. This was a really fun series to watch. Close in all the games, even if Weber ended up taking it away, usually toward the end of the games, right? Just a blast to watch. And Weber, at this point, they're having a little bit of fun. It's like, make it harder for them. Now, if there was hope to score 3 points in 8 seconds, 4-2. We keep somehow making more impossible ratios. This is very silly. All right, folks. Let's see how this last kickoff plays off. Might as well, right? Who knows? Maybe someone will score another point. But the ball will hit the ground right here, and that will be the series to Weber State Esports. Whew, what a game. What a set of games. What a blast that I had. I hope you enjoyed joining me on this solo cast adventure. It was a lot, but it was also a lot of fun. At least I certainly had a lot of fun. So, thank you all for joining me. It is much appreciated. Reminder that, of course, we will have our League of Legends Junior Varsity games tomorrow. We'll be highlighting one of our teams tomorrow. So keep an eye out. Could be at either 7 or 9. Just depends on which team we end up highlighting. So just keep an eye out. We'll see who's available. And then on Saturday as well, we will have our League of Legends Varsity team playing in the CLOL. So either way, stay tuned, and thank you for joining me this evening.